What I'm doing is trying to build some automations and AI agents that I think would benefit content creators. I'm studying these people as far as the quality of the content, how they produce it, what equipment they're using, but then also what is their workflow when they're creating their content? And how can I build automations and AI agents to help them do their job as a content creator more efficiently? There's a content creator called Coach Greg Adams, and he's been on YouTube for quite a while now. I want to say he's been a content creator, I think, for 8 years. And things you pick up with content creators, they'll say certain things like, I'm a one-man army. So they are the ones that are filming, they're editing, they are creating the thumbnails, they're doing everything. And I'm like, okay, where can I fit in for them? And I've reached out to him because I'm like, if I can help him with an automation or an agent, then I can just take it to multiple content creators and just help them behind the scenes. So that's effectively what I've done here. So what I'm doing is just simply introducing AI to him because he is a machine. But if he were to have a digital team, he would essentially free up more time while earning more money. So what I've ascertained with him is he needs AI, and the things that he spoke about that he needs AI for are responding to fans that are emailing him or sending him DMs on social media, and being able to sell them some of his products and services. He has courses, he has a mastermind group, he has books, he has all these different things. And he had expressed to me that, dude, I'm not responding to shit. And I know I'm leaving money on the table. Like, I could be upselling people when they ask for stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, exactly. So you need a 24/7, always on sales agent that's able to answer questions that people have and then point them to a product or a service. So then I did an AI audit of his business and uncover some other things that he would benefit from. So what he expressed was basically requiring an AI-powered solution to automate customer interactions and sales processes across his digital platforms. The primary goal he wants is to double his money in 6 months, and we would do that effectively by improving his response rates from 1% to 100%. So every message that comes in should be answered and should be pushing him towards purchasing something. Streamlining his sales process and then implementing effective follow-up systems, all without requiring his personal involvement in customer communications. One of the things that he mentioned was that he gets about 3 to 5 emails a day that he's not answering. So there's requests in there. So we want to make sure we get to those. I went to his website as the starting point because we need to update his website. He said the last time his website was updated was in 2021. So it's old. The content is old. I went through his site and there were some broken links, like up at the top, the enroll button doesn't work. If you go into some of his courses, he only has 2 courses and those are also old. But if you look here, it says enroll now. But then if you scroll down to see what's in it, it goes, this course is closed. So I'm like, that's confusing as hell. Is it closed or can you enroll in it? And it's the same thing with his other course. Complete my purchase. All right, what's in it? Oh, damn, it's closed. But the problem is, it's not actually true. If I click on this course and go complete my purchase, I can actually buy it. But if I go on this one and hit enroll now, you can't. So little things like that. Another thing that I noticed was I asked him, like, what were his top money makers? Because he has a lot of shit. He got books, he got YouTube, he had courses and all that. And I'm like, what makes you the most money? His content is demonetized on YouTube. He's not being pushed in the algorithm. So he's not going to get a lot of views on him because of the way that he's demonetized and shadow banned. That's effectively pushing you further down and not letting people see you, but people know him. His biggest money makers are his private group that he has on Patreon and locals. His money mindset group on Patreon is his top money maker. Then live stream donations. He also does private coaching calls, and then his course sales. Those are his top 4 money makers. With that in mind, on his home page, right when you land here, those things aren't front and center. His money mindset group is not even mentioned here on his home page. His course, you got to go several carousel items over to even see it. What's front and center, obviously, is his book, his YouTube channel, right? So we're not pushing his top money makers on his homepage. That's a problem. So that's one thing I take in mind. Obviously, he has different experiences. So when I click on the course, it takes me to this page here. He uses the platform Teachable to host his courses. But again, we got conflicting things. It's closed. Can I buy it or not? If I click this one, I can't, but I click this one, I can. Then if we look, the CTAs are different. This one says enroll now, and this one is complete my purchase. So there's some inconsistencies going on. Same thing here. Now he has a bundle of both of these, but then you can't buy it. So it's just, this stuff hasn't been updated. And again, he's one person, so it's difficult for him to do that. Then he has coaching program, and I asked him about this. He's like, oh, I don't even do this anymore. So this was like a 90-day thing where you get personal one-on-one coaching with him. You get all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't even offer that anymore. All right, cool. Then we should probably kill this page then. So like stuff like that. Then the contact page. We got this here, right? So effectively what happens in the back end, when you enter your name, email, and then whatever it is that you need help with, you press send. It's a manual process. He has to go manually do something with this data. What he says is this information, they get added to his MailChimp, but it's not an automated process where they get follow-up emails. He has to manually go do that. I'm like, yeah, you're missing out.
Wow.
So there's that. Now this newsletter thing, which is the footer of his website, the newsletter, same thing. The email goes straight to MailChimp, but it's supposed to kick you into a newsletter email campaign, but it doesn't do that. And I tested that out. Like I went to the contact, I went to apply for this program, nothing happened. I went to contact Coach Greg Adams, nothing happened. So I'm like, okay, it's not automated. He's manually doing all this shit. So we obviously want to fix that. I also want to say, hey, dude, like what benefit are you getting from keeping these courses on this platform? Because to host it, you're paying either $79 a month or an annual $588 a year. How many of these have you sold? Because I'm like, you're just you're hemorrhaging money then if this is the case. He told me he sold 0 in the last 90 days for this. I'm like, okay, so you're paying $828 a year and let's just extrapolate that out. You're not selling. And then this course though, he said he sold 3 or 4 in the last 90 days. I'm like, all right, so this one you're not selling because and rightfully so, it's closed and it's really closed when you click on this. But this one you sold 3 or 4. All right, we need to clean this up a bit. So I also look on his website, these red marks, these red lines. I'm like, okay, this hero is a video. All right, that's fine. But the CTAs here and here don't match. It's different, right? So you got enroll, but then right here, download ebook and video. I'm like,
what does that mean?
Exactly. Like for what? I don't, you know what I'm saying? So like, there's just a bit off. Another thing with these carousel here, typically with carousels, you will see like a left arrow and a right arrow, right? This has nothing. So I'm like, how am I supposed to go see the other stuff in here? You have to click individually little ass doc. So that's a problem. And then the contact page, if we're building an AI agent, then just chat with the agent. And it can ask, what's your name, what's your email, and what do you need help with? And then at that point, it's going to direct you. All right, you want to learn more about his money mindset group? Here's the link. You want to purchase an autographed book by him? Here's a link. That's what this AI sales agent is going to do. So that's why I have this right here for AI. So we got that there. And then some of the notes that I took, we want to emphasize his monetized products and services. His Patreon is missing. I had to go dig deep into his stuff to find other things. It's just not easily accessible. He used to be a fitness trainer for 10 years and he has his old fitness information. I'm like, you're not doing fitness anymore, right? He was like, no. I'm like, then let's kill this. So just stuff like that. And then I went through the recording of the meeting and took notes. So one of the things that I heard, he receives emails about people signing up for his course or his programs. And he engages with his fans on locals, right? I asked him about his content creation flow. Like, what does that look like? He says he gets either Instagram posts, Instagram reels, TikToks, videos from his fans. They post it in his locals community and be like, hey, coach, I saw this video. It was exactly what you were talking about. Or this would be something that would be cool to talk about on your live stream. So he gathers that information, he goes through it and he's like, yep, I want to talk about this. Nope, I don't want to talk about this. Yep. And what he does is he just saves the links of these things in like his browser. So he'll create a group and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So he's like, all right, for Monday, I'll talk about this on Monday or I'll push this to Friday. So he's just saving all these links. And then he has a general outline of what he wants to talk about, but most of it, he's just freestyling, which is pretty fucking insane if you actually sat down and watch his live stream. For context, he streams 3 to 4 hours each time, and he does 2 live streams a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his show is structured in a way of outline, and then he just fills in the gaps. And it's all based off of what he's feeling in the morning. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna talk about this. Or he's like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this. But he has all the content ready. So he says the biggest time wasted is editing the show and then doing the show. So he's doing a 3 or 4 hour live stream and then you got to edit all that shit. Yeah. But fortunately for him, he's offloaded that off his plate. He also has an editor who does his timestamps for him, so he don't have to do that. He says he does need a thumbnail person. He's tired of doing the thumbnails himself. And I'm playing with the concept of using ChatGPT's new model. Everybody's playing around with it, and I've played around. It's fucking awesome. So I'm like, yeah, this makes creating thumbnails a lot easier. His data collection goes from the website to MailChimp for newsletters and all that. His problem is nurturing his leads. So once he have your email and name, he does nothing with it afterwards. So that's the problem. We need to send emails. Hey, thanks for joining, what he calls his members, the coach gang. Hey, thanks for joining the coach gang. I noticed you did this. He needs to be given follow-up emails to get people to purchase stuff. So that's the big problem. Let's see here. He says, I do not want to respond to emails. That's like his big thing. That's a nightmare. All I want to see is that I made a sale. That's all I care about. I do not. And he was like, and I also get a lot of emails that's like long testimonials with no ask in it. It's thank you for doing that. Yeah, I get all that, but I'm like, I'm not reading all this shit. Now, where he does acknowledge that sort of thing are in his private groups. So the locals and the money mindset group, he lets people share their stories and things like that. But as far as emails, I'm not reading that. So I'm like, all right, cool. We'll make sure that we have email management going on. Let's see here. What else is important? Yeah, so these are just the things that I captured as far as my notes from the meeting that I had with him and doing the AI audit. And then I also had Claude and ChatGPT analyze the transcript of the meeting and then provide insights as well, right? So then the next thing I did was create the journey map. His customer is roughly in their 30s to 50s. It's a combination of successful men and men on their way towards success. And both of these men have the income to improve in some capacity. Another thing that he had mentioned, he does not track any KPIs. He doesn't track shit. He doesn't know how many sales he get a month. He doesn't know any of that. He just sees the dollar size. That's it. And again, you're a one-man person. You're doing all this. It is understandable that you're not tracking all that shit. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
It's insane. So there's no baseline for me to go. I can't say, yeah, because of what I built, we increased X by 30%. I don't know, because he doesn't track anything. So I was like, all right, it's not entirely impossible, but it's just like, all right, I need to track what that, I need to get what that baseline is so I know what my metrics I need to hit. So these are just some recommended KPIs that I was thinking through: inquiry to sale percentage, monthly dollar amount, the engagement of the agents, the email campaign performance, and then link click-through rates. So those are just some. But first thing is, people find him on YouTube. They watch his live stream or his playbacks. He has 12 channels or some shit, and they're all demonetized, or 14. So he has all of them that are demonetized. Some of the insights is that 69% of his viewers are on their phone, and they're about split between iOS and Android. The other 30% are either they're watching through a browser or they're watching on TV. Like me, I use Apple TV to watch YouTube, so I would be in that category. And his fans say that it's difficult to navigate his links within his YouTube description, which it's long as fuck. It has a shit ton of links and it is confusing. So the opportunity here is to obviously optimize his YouTube descriptions and then have a direct link to his AI sales agent. We want this AI sales agent to be deployed on his website, on WhatsApp, and then potentially Instagram. Now, I say potentially because he told me 90% of his Instagram DMs is like just bullshit. It's just like videos people are sending him. So it's not anybody really trying to buy anything from him. It's, hey, coach, I found this video. You should talk about it. That's the majority of his Instagram DM. But his emails, it's a mix between like people trying to buy something, trying to set up a coaching call, trying to sell him something. So that's where I say potentially as far as the Instagram thing is concerned. The next step is people reach out to him. So they will send him reels, IG posts, or email him directly. Again, 99% of those go unanswered. And so obviously we want an AI sales agent and an email response agent that responds to everything that comes in. The next step is people wanting to actually purchase something. So they're going to go to his website, they're going to join his locals, or they'll join Patreon. Again, same thing, difficulty of finding this stuff. With that opportunity, we obviously want to qualify the leads that come in. We want to provide a correct product or service routing, and then answer any questions about his other premium content. Then this is the part where people convert, or they actually purchase something. So they decide to purchase a membership to his Money Mindset group, which is on Patreon, a coaching call, his books, or locals. But the problem is there's no guided sales process to help people with that. There's also no retargeting mechanism. So if somebody comes to his site and maybe adds something to their cart and they leave, there's no follow-up email or retargeting mechanism to say, hey, we saw you left something in your cart. Would you want to go ahead and take care of it? Something like that. There is nothing like that. So obviously you want to have an automated sales process and a retargeting campaign. And then finally is nurturing the customers and the leads that he has, right? So the newsletter subscribers, they are added to MailChimp, but they're, not nurtured through an upsell opportunities. We're lacking a structured follow-up, missing email campaigns, and there's no metrics tracked. So integrating with his MailChimp, we want a workflow that nurtures his subscribers and leads. We want to automatically upsell people, and then again, same thing, retarget. So this is the customer journey. And so all of that gets broken down into the actual proposal itself. So, table of contents, I'm breaking down what I heard from him, the customer journey, what I see, what we can do, how we'll get it done, and then the next steps. Quote from him, last thing I want to do is read emails. All I want is sales. That's it. He's leaving money on the table by not responding to his emails. His top earners are his private money mindset group, his live stream donations, coaching calls, and set course sales. Problems of nurturing people. He's only concerned with sales, right? We've seen the customer journey map already. So his website needs to be updated. The information on there is outdated from 2021. Broken links, navigation issues. We're missing KPIs to track. We noticed that he has almost 1,600 free members in his money mindset group. So he has several tiers in his Patreon money mindset group. And George, you probably have heard him say on a few occasions where he says stuff like, we're about to start raising prices pretty soon.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly agree. And I'm also one of the ones that are pushing that narrative as well. That free tier shit, we gotta try and convert more of these free people to the paid tiers. Now, what I also believe though, I think he has too many tiers. He has a free tier, a $2 a month tier, a $5 a month tier, $25 a month tier, $50 a month tier, $100, and then $300. I'm like, bro, that's 7 tiers. Cut that shit to about 3.
I didn't even know there was a free one.
Yeah, but the thing is, it almost has no value because
Right.
you don't get access to his actual Zoom calls. You can't be in them. I think he lets you, actually, let me double check right now. I think he lets you watch the recorded videos. So yeah, he has a $400, $100, $2, $5, $25, and $50. Yeah, you're not even getting access to the content on a $2 a month one. On a $5 one, you get 2 videos per month. $25, you get access, you will be helping get this message to other men via written articles. Yeah, it's still just on some support type of thing. So 3 tiers are just if you just want to support them. The $50 and up, that's where you actually get the real value. So the $50, you get to be in the Zoom calls. You get, direct links to, and then you get to watch all the past Zoom calls that he's had. And then as far as the $100 one, you get like daily motivation texts, inspirational emails, which I'm curious how that happens when he doesn't even like responding to emails. So stuff like that. So we got some things to clear up. Now, I will say though, he does have a very high conversion rate. He's at 30%. So 30% of his people are paid customers. So that's really good. And even just a slight increase on that, he'll see a lot more as far as the revenue is concerned. So we want to convert more free members to paid members, and then the lower tier paid members, we want to get them up at least to the $50. So what I would recommend him is $2, $5, $25 shit, kill those. Go straight to 50. And I would reconsider what even is the real value with the $400 one. Cause I'm like, that's basically a coaching call to me. You already have coaching calls. So do you really need that $400 one? I know he brought down his coaching calls. They used to be 1,500, 500 for 30 minutes, 1,000 for an hour. He halved them. So now 1 hour is 500 and 30 minutes is 250. So I'm like, those are your tiers already. I don't think you need this $400 one personally. Data collection has holes, as we all know, mobile first experience, and then content creation headaches.
Did you add like a preview for the free tiers? Have like a 15-minute preview? Because I know those money mindsets are about an hour.
And can't go longer than that. Yeah, that could be something, I'm sure that could be worked out. Because you want to entice the free people to move up into the paid tier somehow. So I think that is definitely something that can be worked out. Again, this is estimated. I don't know what he actually is bringing in on a monthly basis, but based off of the comments he's made in certain live streams, I've seen something around like 400,000. So if that is the case, then that's what he would be bringing in, and he wants to double that. So his current response rate is 1%. We want to get to 100. We don't know how many inquiries a month he's getting, but on the low end, anywhere from 90 to 240, right? Sales from those, he could be seeing an extra 10,000 a month if we convert some of these 90 to 240. If we converted just 10% of his free members, we could see this much. If we optimize his course, we could see this much. If he offered new exclusive content, it could be this much, right? So he's leaving out some money on the table. And what I'm thinking is a good 12 to 18 months to implement these things is more realistic than 6 months, especially when you take in consideration AI is new. So we can't just trust it and think that nothing's going to break, nothing's going to leak data. We have to be very careful with this. I think the 12 months is a little bit more on the safe side to implement some of this stuff. Doesn't mean we won't see results in 6 months, but from a safety perspective, that's my first thing that I'm pushing. We don't want to be liable for anything negative with this AI stuff. Even the AI experts, they don't know how AI is doing what it's doing. So we have to be careful with this. So here's what we need to do. Obviously, update his website. That's the first thing, because that's where people are going to go first. We want to update the website, make sure all the information on it is up to date. Then we want to implement a sales agent on that website. So what I'm showing here is on the bottom, we'll see something like join the coach gang. They click on that and they can actually talk to this bot. And this bot will be able to handle different workflows. And this should look somewhat familiar to you, Sebastian, because this is voice flow, right? So business opportunities, coaching requests, content suggestions, money mindset, and then personal stories. Those are just like right out the gate, the things that the chatbot can handle. We want to also deploy that same chatbot to WhatsApp. So he will have a WhatsApp number. People can text that number and they will be able to get answers to their questions. What you're seeing here is me playing around with, I created this in WhatsApp. I used my own business's WhatsApp and just tested it out. And so it's able to answer voice notes, and it's also able to answer just straight up text message. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And
then an automated email management system. So what we want is when somebody emails him, we want a workflow that labels the content of the email. So we're using an LLM to be able to understand the new email, label it appropriately, and then respond back to it. Then we got the automated marketing system, right? So this is a MailChimp. So obviously we want to integrate with MailChimp. We want to do something with that. So we want to send out email campaigns and have that done automatically. I asked him about his blog. I'm like, your last blog post was like 5 years ago. Do you want to kill it or do you want to repurpose it? Because the blog really would just be for like SEO purposes, right? So he'd just be creating articles, and then from an SEO perspective, when people search these keywords, his blog is going to come up, which would then push them to his website, which would then push them to his sales agent. We can create a system where AI can write your blog post for you. So that's what this is about. And you can actually see I already have a preliminary workflow for that built in N8N. I have this on a scheduled timer. We could say something like at 5 a.m. Come up with 5 blog post ideas, then write the article, then review the article, send him a text message to review the article. If he doesn't like it, he can request changes, and then those changes will be sent back to the LLM. They'll update the article, review it, send it back to him for approval. Once he approves it, we'll send that article to a database in Airtable, and then we'll post it on WordPress.
WordPress is the blog?
His website is built on that.
Okay.
So then come down to the pricing of it. We have two ways of working, a short-term engagement model and a long-term engagement model. The short-term engagement model is 14 weeks long. In that, I'm not going to do all this in 14 weeks. I'm going to do the two things that are going to make him the most money, which is the sales agent and then the email marketing. So when people enter in their information and then they get sent automated emails, those are the two things that I would do in that 14 weeks. Includes a setup fee and then 3 payments, totals out to this here. Now, disclaimer, this is me building it with you. I'll be training his son so that way he can take over and make updates to what we build. Once that 14 weeks is up, I have a 60-day period where I'm just there for support. And then after that, I walk away because I showed you how to do it. I recorded me building it so that way you got the recordings. We turn those into SOPs. So you know how to manage everything. However, you got to maintain it. You have to update it. You have to make sure that all of your solutions are up to industry best practice when it comes to security compliance, right? When people hear that, they go, shit, I don't want to do that. I'm paying you to do it. Well, then that's where this option comes in now. So now this is the long-term engagement where we're with you for 18 months. So what we're saying here is everything that I said that we can build, we're going to build those things in the 18 months. That would be updating the website, building the sales agent that's deployed on the website, WhatsApp, email, and then we would also throw in Instagram as well. I put that towards the end of the phase because I want to track how many inquiries he's getting through Instagram, and I want to test, is it really mostly bullshit? Because if that's the case, then we don't really need to deploy it there. So that's why I put that towards the end here. Automating the blog and then the email marketing. So we'll do that in 18 months, and we will obviously be updating and maintaining from a security standpoint. So the next steps, I'll follow up with him. He makes his decision of which one he wants to go with. He just selects which options he wants. And then that will kick off an automation where he gets emailed the contract. He will sign that contract or have his lawyers look at the contract, sign it, and then he will pay the setup fee. And then at that point, I need access to your data, right? So I need logins. I need all this shit. He has a guy who built his website, so I need his contact. I need to be able to work with him because I'm going to do the design and then he's going to implement what I designed. So I need to be able to talk to him. We'll have the kickoff meeting and follow the 18-month structure. That is the proposal for Coach Greg Adams.